Welcome to another episode of Conversation and Cocktails with your host, me, Lenny B. In this episode, we spoke to Cesar Ramirez of bands such as District 9, NCE, Wolf and Waters, and just a great guitar player. This episode, well, it sort of speaks for itself. Known Cesar for a long time, and well, you're just gonna have to sit back and watch that footage because it is what it is. So roll that fucking footage. One.
Oh fuck, man!
2.
God damn it! I knew we was gonna start with this.
Honestly, if you could redo that interview over, would you be as fucked up as you were?
I ain't going front.
Probably.
I like being fucked up.
Oh, there's nothing wrong
I
with
ain't going front.
But would you be less fucked up?
I would probably try to be less fucked up than that, but I was a young nigga, so fuck it. I was fucked up. And I still can't do math, nigga. Fuck that shit. Yo.
I mean, because that gets brought up all the time when people fucking like, yo, can Caesar still count?
Yeah, I hear that.
Damn, man, it's like that shit's like 20 years old already.
It really is.
And motherfuckers still be like, really?
I was
like,
a young nigga, man. I was on aluminum. Shit was fucked up. Shit was fucked up. You know
whites. No.
Not for the white boy, you know.
We're gonna get those stories in a minute. We're gonna get those stories on deck. Yeah, it's kind of like with that. Remember with that film coming out and like years later when I was playing in the band, guys asked me, "He's like, yo, is Mike gonna wear a backpack?" And I'm like, dude, he did it like twice.
Yeah, I mean,
and it was like it kind of like put a certain thing on guys. You know
what happens is when you do shit like that, they expect you to be that character all the fucking time.
Yep.
And unfortunately, we're not that character.
No.
You know, we evolve. I'm fucking 40 now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that little nigga is dead. That nigga's dead already. Like,
damn.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. That nigga that was there right there, he's dead.
I mean, that film did get the band's name out there, though. But unfortunately, by the time it came out, the band really... I mean, it
wasn't... I mean...
It's
honestly,
hard to say because you guys were doing pop-up gigs occasionally.
The shit is with the District 9 shit, even with the Close Call, they wasn't as consistent as I would say Without a Cause.
Yeah. Well,
should I mention Rampage?
You could totally mention Rampage.
I mean, we was more consistent than them motherfuckers, but...
What did they played like 3 shows, and I think Joe sang at one of them?
Maybe half of that show, or...
No, he played... I remember 2 of their shows. They played... Rampage was this band, before we go any further, because like, people are like, what the fuck? Yeah, what are they talking about? Rampage was this band fronted by this guy, Joe, who worked up at Bronin's for mad years. And he had a band. And this motherfucker had a ton of merch. He had shirts, he had stickers, keychains, condoms, whatever.
I thought he was rich.
I mean, they had more merch than songs, you know what I'm saying? And, like, Joe would be pushing his band. So finally, I guess the first show, or I don't know if it was the first show, was that Metal Madness show.
Was that the first show?
I think it was the first show. Joe came up, he sang one song.
But let's talk about the Metal Madness. First off, that show was supposed to happen on a certain day that it was snowing, and me and Kev went out there, and it didn't fucking happen.
We had a blizzard. That was 1993.
Yes.
We had a blizzard.
And
I remember the night before, me, Frank, Uchi, and a whole bunch of other motherfuckers set up the whole thing. We hung the lights. We set up the PA system.
The Bronx All-Stars.
We set this whole friggin' gymnasium up for the show. And
that never happened.
It never happened. And I remember, like, Uchi was like, it happened. And I remember, I think, him and he got a bunch of his, because he did the volunteer work at the youth center over there.
Right.
He had a bunch of guys just go into the gym, haul the gear back in the snow, like around the corner to a basement.
Right.
You know, it's just like, damn. And then, when it did happen, it was like actually a pretty big deal.
That was behind closed doors. Mind you, me and Kev was not behind closed doors.
Yeah.
And we tried to make it to the fucking show. that day
Fuck.
like assholes walking on the Grand Concourse.
Yeah, but this is pre-internet, you know. There wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. There was, yeah.
You know, it was kind of like, honestly, and it was a pretty bad storm.
It was a fucking bad storm.
It was a pretty
not
bad
like one of these fucking pansy ass fucking storms that
Where
they
they
have
shut the
now
subway down, we get 2
for no
inches of snow.
fucking reason. You know what I mean?
Seriously.
That was a real fucking snowstorm where everything got fucking shut down, yo.
But yeah, I remember, you know, oh man, fucking who played that shit, man? It was Without a Cause, Close Call, Rampage.
Those were the most important bands where I went to see. Was Without a Cause, Close Call, and Rampage.
Morbidon?
Yes.
And I think there was one more band that played, I can't remember the name. And I just remember with Rampage, Joe came out, sung half a song, put the microphone down on a speaker, and then watched the band play the instrumental for the next half an hour.
He looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, he looked like he was really...
And then I think he forgot the lyrics, stage fright set in. And we eventually played another show with them at Bond Street, and he actually did sing the whole show. And I don't think they played again. I think it was one of those bands that kind of fizzled out, you know.
But honestly, that was the first show where I seen hardcore working. You know what I mean?
Oh, so that was your first hardcore show?
Yeah, that was my
Really?
first show without I actually fucking seen you guys fucking play, which I can't front. I fucking idolized you.
Oh boy.
I'm sorry on that. Yeah, I was looking at that show like I want to be like that nigga right there. That fucking guy right there.
Oh boy.
And then Without a Cause played, and I was like, this is what I want to fucking do. Even though I wasn't even into fucking hardcore.
Well, yeah, let's take it back for a hot second. When you were like young kid growing up, like what was the music you were exposed to in the house?
In my house?
I mean, what were your parents listening to?
It was strictly Motown, Santana, play that funky music, white boy motherfucker. You know, I wasn't
That's
really...
fucking like Casey and the Sunshine
Yes.
Band. Really? Wow.
Yes.
Oh, wait, what's that Casey and the Sunshine Band?
I don't even know who the fuck
What was that Wild
was.
Cherry?
Wild Cherry, my
Wild
nigga.
Cherry,
I had the
Wild
record,
Cherry.
and I played that shit to fucking death,
Oh.
yo. I played that shit to death, because it was so fucking funky. Like, the riffs on that shit was so fucking
Yeah, it
funky.
was.
And then when I got introduced to y'all niggas, I heard a different type of fucking music. When I got introduced to, Without a Cause and Close Call and all of that fucking shit, I got introduced to something that was a bit more heavy, but it still had pretty much the Bronx sound.
Yeah.
Like, when people talk about the Bronx sound and what was that fucking club that was in the Bronx run by Nicky Camp?
It was Blackthorn?
Blackthorn.
There was
it was way before that. Way before that. Like that. You guys kind of introduced the Bronx into something heavier. Something fucking...
It was basically us in Close Call at the time, you know.
There was nobody else.
I mean, no, don't get me wrong. There were bands kicking around up there, but they were so few and far between.
Right.
And if there were bands, they didn't really get out as much.
Any fucking noise.
You know, or you had
any noise.
Up in the North Bronx, you had a lot of like metal bands.
There was a lot of metal
There
bands.
was a ton of metal bands there, and I think there might have been a handful of hardcore bands, but not.
But
until,
I think Without a Cause and Close Call brought something different to the table. There was those metal type riffs still in there, and it was even before Biohazard and all that.
No, that was during the era of Biohazard.
That same fucking era.
It was like, I think what influenced us in the Without a Cause is, to be honest with you, was like Biohazard, Leeway.
Leeway played a
major
fucking
role,
part,
and a couple other bands that I can't think of like right this moment, but those were like the bands. And Ray Malone was into his metal and his death metal, and fucking it's like, Ray Malone, suffocation,
yeah.
Blasting out beats and shit. But yeah, I mean
But for me, it it was an eye opener. For me, it was a huge eye opener, and I'm pretty sure it was with Kev because, you know, me and him came from the same background or whatever. But when we first saw y'all niggas fucking play, it was like, this is what we want to do. This is what the fuck we want to do. And it was a bunch of times that I saw you guys, you know, inadvertently. I was in Bond Street and to see you fucking guys play and close call play. Bond Street era was a major fucking push on what we were trying to do.
Well, before hardcore, like, I know the Guns N' Roses thing was kicking around because I'm sure you wanted to be Slash.
Me, personally, I was drawn to melodic type music.
So what was the heavy stuff you started with? Because it wasn't hardcore straight off the bat.
No.
It was probably the normal stuff, Metallica, Guns N' Roses, Antics,
yeah, exactly.
Megadeth.
It was Megadeth and fucking I got introduced to Slayer and fucking all of those type of shits. But melodic wise, GNR was one of my fucking one of my fucking major influences. Even if people couldn't relate to what GNR was doing with hardcore, that fucking that riff for Paradise City was really fucking heavy, yo. If you was to translate that riff, that you know, that was really even as District 9, we was even talking about covering that. Which would have been really fucking interesting.
It would have been funny.
It would have been.
Mike, yo, Paradise City!
yeah. It would have been really
that would have
interesting.
been funny, dude.
It would have
Mike,
been really
I would have loved to
interesting.
seen that.
But as a young ass nigga singing for, listening to what you guys were doing as Without a Cause and what Close Call was doing as Close Call, it opened my eyes to something where we could bring rhythmic beats, even Santana type fucking beats, to fucking hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We was able to translate those fucking riffs into something really fucking heavy, yo. And
so you would say Slash was like your main influence growing up?
Slash was more or less my main influence growing up, and then I got introduced to other things.
Yeah.
With you guys and fucking The Who and fucking Hendrix. And Hendrix came from fucking Mike, actually. The first time I was introduced to Hendrix was when I was sniffing a line. in 167. And Mike was like, you should listen to this cat. Listen to this nigga play fucking riffs and shit. And, we had the dollar bill out, taking a couple of bumps, and I was listening to fucking Hendrix, and Mike actually introduced me to Hendrix.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, Mike also liked a lot of shit too growing up. I remember Mike was the same thing, grew up listening to, his own shit in his house and getting into the metal stuff because Mike was a big metalhead.
He was a huge metalhead, but at the same time, he was listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
And fucking other things that influenced him. And at that time, I was dressing like a fucking metalhead. Which gave me problems on Sheridan.
Yeah, I'm sure it did.
It gave me a lot of problems on Sheridan, but...
well, it's a ballsy, not for nothing, it's a ballsy look to roll through the Bronx back then, especially like in the early 90s. Because I remember going up in the Bronx in the early 90s, and in the early 90s, going to the Bronx was no fucking joke.
No.
I remember when I would go to Ray Maloon's house, I'd be like, oh, please let nothing happen for that block and a half that I have to go to his house. And I, knock on wood, thank Christ, I never had problems.
And my nigga, I lived there.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Well, we're going to get into some other shit about that, but when it came to, getting into District 9, how did that all transpire?
What it was, I auditioned for fucking Close Call. I auditioned for Close Call, and Mike said I was trash. And honestly, Mike, this is from me to you. Motherfucker. All right?
Oh my god.
We auditioned. No, I auditioned, and he was like, yo, this nigga don't got what it takes. Fuck you, Mike. Sorry.
Well, I remember meeting you during like summer '94, and Mike had like, yo, this little motherfucker I'm starting to band with, and you came up to me as like get out my face, you know, like
yeah, it was that type of mentality.
You know, it was like, and same thing with Kevin, because Kevin was around like,
no, Kev had it worse, my nigga.
No, we hazed the fuck out of Kev.
Kev had it worse, dog.
When Kev joined the band, I mean, we fucked with him constantly. He still had braces.
Yeah,
you know?
it's like you going on a fucking union job and fucking
and fucking with the apprentice.
Yeah, exactly. It's the same fucking shit. It's the same fuck. Kev had it worse. I can't front. Kev had it worse, cause
he's Kevin.
Cause he's Kev.
Yes, Kev. He did get it worse.
Dominican motherfucker.
He got fucked with him.
He got it worse. Cause as far as the District 9 shit came, I still had a chop because I stole a lot of shit from. I stole a lot of chops from you. I stole a lot of chops from fucking Frank.
Yeah.
And I was able to mimic those type of riffs that you guys were doing at those times.
Yeah.
Kev had a little bit of a difficulty with that. He had a little bit of difficulty. You know, he
got fucked with a bit.
Yeah, a little bit more than what I did.
I mean, the thing was, Kev auditioned too, and when Without a Cause was going through that transitional period where it was turning into Fahrenheit, you know, we auditioned like 3 bass player, and Kevin was the last guy.
Yeah.
And, you know, he had a lot of energy, a lot of whatever, you know, he just, you know, A, he could play, and B, he, you know, whatever he didn't know, he was just like, fuck it, I'm gonna make these mistakes proudly.
Yeah.
And you know, even doing things like, which I never saw him do since, was like get up on backing vocals and shit, like really trying to impress. And I was just like,
right.
And me and Frank are like, he's got a lot of spunk, this one, huh? You know,
I didn't have to go through that.
Yeah, but he got fucked with, and then he got fucked with for about a few months after that. You know, and then it wasn't until like we got rid of Joe Scalo and got Joel. Joel got fucked with. And
Magoo? Is that Mr. Magoo?
But we knew our time with Joel was short because he was having a kid. So he was like, you know, we got rid of Joe in like June. Joel jumped.
Jesus lover.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
I love Jesus.
Oh my God. We would have conversations like, oh, it was like, yo, Jesus don't like homosexuals. It's like, well, I thought Jesus loves everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
why doesn't he like homosexuals, yo?
And this conversation, used to record these conversations.
Did you?
Yeah. I'm sure the tapes are floating around somewhere.
I would love to see them.
And I mean, we would get everyone involved with this. You know, it was just hysterical because it's like, Kev's being ballsy and asking, religious questions.
You see, the thing with me and Kev is that we was brought up in Catholic fucking teaching.
Yeah.
You know, we was brought up in that whole. I mean, we went through a primary school and high school Catholic teaching. You know what I mean? So Jesus played a major part in.
I went to Catholic school too for the first fucking.
Did you? You
kindergarten until 9th grade.
Get the fuck out of here, yo!
Yeah, I'm not fucking. I can't stand God, to be honest with you.
Yeah, you sniff a line off his fucking cross. Yeah, it's all right. It's cool. Cause I'll follow him. Let's not talk about the church where Frank got married. All right.
We're gonna get. I want to get through some other questions before we get to these guys, because we got stories. You understand?
There's major fucking stories, yo.
When you guys went to go record the School of Hard Knocks thing, you guys went to Big Blue Meanie.
Yes. Where I threw up in my mouth. Let's talk about Big Blue Meanie.
I recorded there twice. Once for a comp and then once for our demo. And I for some reason, the guy irked the fuck out of me.
Because you guys was a step ahead of us. You guys was a step ahead of us. We didn't give a fuck where we recorded.
Yeah, you were just like someone's paying for it, Kevin.
And we're gonna we're gonna record.
Yeah.
And we used to like to record high, and we didn't have anything. So we drank NyQuil to get high. And I vomited in my mouth. Off of NyQuil. Off of NyQuil because Loki moms made us some fucking pancakes.
So you saw those again.
Yeah. And I tasted it twice, and it was pretty slamming.
Until you tasted it twice.
Yes, until I tasted
and it was like
twice.
Pancakes and NyQuil. This is disgusting.
We couldn't smoke weed because we didn't have any fucking weed. We couldn't sniff anything because I think at that time I wasn't even sniffing. I think at that time I wasn't even Ricky wasn't even a part of my vocabulary.
My experience with Big Blue Me, I remember we went in there, we brought our amps. The guy laughed at the amp I had, which I was like, all right, guy, come on, really? And it's like, all right, fine. You don't got to like pick on me about my fucking...
Yeah, I think he thought he was the shit.
And I'm not taking... Some people have had some good experiences at Big Blue Meeting. We didn't have it. I'm pretty sure you guys kind of didn't have it. You know, the guy wanted to use his equipment and only his equipment. You know, it was just like... And then he would take your guitars.
That's why I said that you guys was a step ahead because we didn't have equipment.
Well, yeah, you borrowed a lot of ours.
Yeah, exactly.
You borrowed a lot of ours, to be honest with you.
Yeah, exactly,
You know,
exactly.
Fucking...
We didn't even, and then even at that fucking recording, we didn't have our full band.
No.
Because Todd wasn't
away.
there. Right.
At that point. I remember that.
So
I remember Todd getting a little livid about that as well. Like, you guys recorded without me? You know.
Sorry.
You know, I mean, unfortunately it happened. And not for nothing, though.
But that's how things worked back then. Like, you know, I did the rhythm tracks and I did the lead tracks. And I didn't know what the fuck I was doing.
Oh, that was your first, like, real recording
That was my
experience?
first recording.
Yeah.
That was my first fucking recording. I didn't even understand what the fuck was going on.
You guys probably would have been better off going to, like, a Don Fury's at that point.
Pretty much.
Or something more
Don
local.
Fury's, at that time, was the place to go.
Yeah.
To fucking record.
Yeah, and I think he may have, at that point, just relocated to Coney Island. I think that's when he got out of Spring Street and went to
Which
Coney.
was a bit too far for the Bronx.
But at the same time, so was Jersey.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, it's like, it is what it is.
Right.
And the thing is that, you know, that record's the School of Hard Knocks record's a classic record. It really is. You know? I mean,
it is.
Me and Caesar sat down though and talked about it though. It was, you know, I mean, there's people out there that are fucking give me thumbs down. I don't give a fuck. There's people out there who are like, it's great, and me and you have talked about it's like it's thin. It is painfully fucking thin.
And you know what's so fucking so painful? I recorded with EMGs.
Well, we all were doing that, dude. I had EMGs in my SG at the time.
I'm gonna blame you, Frank.
Oh, Frank introduced everyone. He's like, yo, I
I'm
got
gonna
EMGs.
blame your fucking ass for those fucking EMGs and
Yeah,
the
but you know
fucking
something?
battery in my fucking Les Paul.
It's funny because when I spoke to Gavin from Burn about it, he was like, he said the same thing. He's like, yeah, I had EMGs in my Les Paul too. We all went through an EMG phase.
I'm not gonna front. That's one of my favorite interviews that you have done so far.
Gavin's character, and he's an influence. So
That's
it was
yeah.
you know, and
he was an influence on me because you guys introduced me
Oh, dude, yeah.
to that cat.
Oh yeah, dude.
You guys introduced me to
I should
Todd
be paid.
Youth. Fucking, there was so many guys that you guys introduced me to where I was like, these motherfuckers are crazy. Yo.
Well, the thing is, with the hardcore scene, it was accessible. You know, there was no, you know, even if bands were huge and big, you could still fucking
be right there with those
you could
cats.
be right there with
and
those.
talk with those cats and fucking.
Yeah, that was one cool thing. You could talk, you know, talk to guys about.
That's what
shit in
that's
general.
what was so great about the era that I came up in, and I was so lucky to be even in that fucking era. There was so many fucking the bands were so diverse.
Yeah.
There was not one fucking band in that era that sounded the same.
No, well, you had a lot. I mean, we're all young, but everyone was still developing as a player, and everyone was developing by leaps and bounds. So, I mean, that was the one thing. Guys took pride in what they were doing on stage, and you know, and I always found it kind of funny because, you know, a lot of what we did it all high.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, we were doing. I mean, there were bands out there who were doing it, but like, I was talking to somebody about it, like. Actually, I had Kevin and Chucky over here the other day. We were bullshitting about the drug thing, and I was just like, dude, it wasn't normal it was actually normal for us to go and smoke fucking like 10 blunts in a day.
Yeah, right.
You know, and I think about it now, and I go, oh my God.
Even the guys from No Redeeming, and those dudes...
Those guys are drinkers, though.
Will get fucked up.
Yeah.
And they used to always say, how the fuck do you guys play high like that? Like,
rehearse a lot high.
Yeah. You know, like, how the fuck do you guys play like that so fucking high?
Well, you know what it was too. I mean, you know, right around '96, we started getting to the monthly room thing, and we used to fucking just smoke every fucking waking minute and play high.
Yeah.
And then it got to the point, all right, what happens if I take ecstasy and play? Let's see how this works.
Or if I sniff a fucking line off my E string.
Yeah, or
you know.
And then a couple times it'd be like, what if I take a tab and play? And I've done that. I've actually played quite a few shows, tripped out of my fucking mind.
It didn't work for me.
It worked for me just because we were rehearsing 2 to 3 times a week. So you learned how to play high.
Yeah.
You know, it was
guys was a machine.
You know, I mean, that's how it was. I mean, you know, unfortunately with District 9 to get you guys, and you know, I was in the band for 13 years, and to get these guys to fucking motivated was like next to impossible.
It depends on the lineup, and
yeah, well,
we'll probably go into that.
Yeah, no, it definitely so.
I don't want to shit on nobody.
Yeah. So yeah, we're talking about, you know, District 9 during that '95, because I mean. I had Todd Hamilton over here about a month ago, and we were talking that, you know, with the 7-inch lineup, you really only played like 30 shows, and maybe even that might be pushing it.
I think 30 is a little excessive. I think we played less than that.
And the thing was, you know, and it was just the motivation. I mean, you know, granted, like later on, like with Fahrenheit, you know. We snagged management, and then all we had to do was worry about the music. We didn't have to worry about the business end of it. But during those early days, we were still chugging along, getting on fucking gigs and doing what it was. I mean, why? You know, I always wondered, like, why can't these guys get their shit together? You know, and
the thing, the major difference between and I always say this, the major difference between District 9 and 451, it was like Rage against Tool. You guys was Tool, we was Rage. And the shit is that we didn't give a fuck. We didn't give a fuck what shows we played. It was all about fun and getting fucked up for us.
That's fair enough. I mean,
you know, for 451,
well, we were a little
you guys was like that in the beginning,
more driven though.
But it was a bit more. You guys was a bit more business.
Yeah,
and you guys, you know, you understood the business wise. District 9, we didn't give a fuck about business.
Yeah, well,
we didn't give a fuck, yo, and that's what led up to all those lineups. And I think I remember even leaving the first time where Dre from No Redeeming was fucking playing bass.
You had Dre, Todd, Lou Medina, and
I think
Gary.
Even I even think the guitar player for Black Train, Jack.
Or Ernie?
Fucking tried out for District 9 and all that shit.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
And then the thing was, during the 90s, though, you guys did use like you guys actually did do a lot of pop-up shows. You jump in, because I remember you guys played with us at a skate park in Toms River.
Right.
And, you know, I mean, and the thing is, except for Armando, every guy in Fahrenheit was in District 9 at one time or another.
Yeah.
You know, that was...
I mean, I even think for Antics,
Mondo recorded.
Yeah. I even think he was a part of fucking District 9 at some point in time. There were so many motherfuckers.
Oh yeah, I mean, when I joined the band in 2000, right after Fahrenheit broke up, we went through. There were times where you showed up and then you didn't show up. You would go MIA, you come back, and it wasn't until like 2006 or 7 where you became a part of it again.
Right.
And then that more or less stayed that way till Webster Hall, which was our last gig with that with that line. I mean, District 9 has played in
so many lineups,
and we had a lot of. Like that band had a lot of lineups, and I remember having to do a lot of legwork because guys weren't used to having guys being motivated to do legwork, and for me it was easy. It was like fucking. I was like, oh, you guys got to do this. Hold on.
Yeah,
I got this. And it was
that
like
came from the 451 days for you.
And it was just all right. How am I gonna get to the next step? How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do that? Your cigarette's not lit. And that's why I always was like, when we got that last lineup, when it was you, me, Todd, Lou, and Mike, I was like, this lineup's got to fucking record, man. Because there were so many failed attempts to record with other lineups when I joined the band. Like I remember, we had Todd and Rafe and Jason in the band for a minute. And we tried, we did a couple demo sessions with that. That didn't end up really well.
See, no disrespect to any lineup that District 9 ever had or whatever. You still needed that street fucking swing.
Yeah.
If you're going to record anything with District 9, you still needed that fucking...
It had to have that attitude.
Yeah,
it had to have that... It's hard to explain it because, like... again, speaking to Todd about that, when we did South Bronx Memoirs, I was like, that was a killer fucking lineup. That it's like
sonically, that was the best lineup for District 9.
I remember
sonically.
I remember having a little like back and forth with Kevin Gill saying about this record. It's like, oh, dude, this is way much better than the School of Hard Knocks. He's like, oh, it's a classic. No, I was like, no doubt, it's a classic. Sonically, this is a way better fucking night and day.
Yeah.
And
sonically, it was, we knew what the fuck we wanted to do. That's what it was. When District 9 first recorded that first fucking album, I wasn't really a seasoned guitar player at that.
Well, you were kind of flying by the seat of your pants, which, fair enough. You weren't exposed to
and then all of a sudden I had to do the rhythm tracks.
Well, yeah, I mean,
it wasn't playing directly the way we had it with Lou and fucking Todd and you.
Yeah, the thing I remember when we did the South Bronx Memoirs, you and me blazed through those tracks so fucking fast.
Like it wasn't nothing.
I think in total time, and Len Carmichael could probably chime in on the comments at some point, but I think we took all in all 2.5 hours between the two of us. I mean, a lot of things were first takes.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing.
Lou nailed all his tracks. I think in
really
one
quick.
or two takes.
Really quick.
It was fast. I was like, holy fuck! And I remember walking out of there.
I was blown the fuck away when we sent it to Todd, and Todd laid his bass tracks on it, and I was like, what the fuck? Sonically, that was the best District 9 lineup, but physically as a band where we was creativity wise, the first District 9 lineup was the best lineup for me.
Yeah.
Where it was Frank on guitar, it was me on guitar, it was Loki on bass, and Ray on fucking drums. That was, to me, the best fucking lineup as far as creativity came.
Yeah.
Where Think About It came out of there, fucking Payback came out of there, Victim came out of there, Antics and all of those fucking songs came out of that era. But sonically, when we needed to promote, like, project those fucking rhythms, we was the better.
There was a chemistry there. just because, we had all kind of jammed together loosely before that.
We already knew each other.
We've been in bands since then, and between then, and we had the Polish Turkey thing,
right,
which we did a lot of rehearsing, did one show, but it was fun, But
that shit was.
We decided to do something a little different, do a challenge. It really wasn't until we had another band called Wolf and Waters that played a couple of shows.
Wolf and Waters, and till this day, my wife still says that's the best band that I've been in.
Well,
and I've been in a lot of
creative.
Shit.
We were doing,
you
know what it was? As guitar players, you tend to
look for something better, something great.
And that's why sometimes, you'll see us dipping out of playing heavy stuff from time to time because it's a challenge.
The funny shit is that hardcore still plays hand in hand with fucking blues music and and hip hop, and it goes hand in hand. That hardcore image, a lot of people think it's just those fucking heavy guitar riffs and fucking those mosh parts.
No.
But it's not really about all of that, yo. That hardcore image, we took it to blues.
Yeah. Well, I think we all kind of got bored with stuff for a minute there, and that was when the open tunings came into play.
Which you introduced me to. And
well, I got bored. That's really what it came down to. I got bored with just writing the same old, and I wanted to do something different. We were already, listening to a whole other. As a musician, you always have to kind of
look to be greater,
and you gotta keep an open ear to a lot of things. That I run into people who go, "Oh, I listen to nothing but hardcore." I'm like, "Well, you're cheating yourself.
You're cheating yourself.
Mistake. That's a mistake. It's like, dude, I listen to everything from classical to jazz to whatever I think I like, and it doesn't matter if you don't like it. You pull influences from everything.
Exactly.
Like Joe Bonamassa, for instance, is another guy. Like you go, oh my God, I want to throw my stuff away. But at the same time, it influences you to play better and just, again, look outside of what you're normally used to doing.
Right.
And we had a band, Wolf and Waters. It was just basically a blues rock band. And it was,
but we still introduced that same hardcore feel.
Yeah, well, it was like heavy blues.
Yeah,
it was heavy rock.
Yeah.
And it
And Chucky could probably talk about this because he was there at the shows. He saw that.
Yeah, and the thing was, the band did what it did. I mean, it should have went further. Did it? Whatever.
Yeah, because there was some loose motherfuckers.
It happens.
But yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I've always said, if District 9 would ever get back together, it should be that fucking last lineup. It should be the same players, pick up where it was, because that was a band that just, when we weren't rehearsing District 9 stuff, we'd be jamming on everything.
Yeah, I used to love that. Go to fucking Lou's house and fucking play on whatever.
Yeah, we just like all right, we're just gonna jam for fucking
some loose shit, which was so fucking heavy, which you guys probably would never fucking hear.
No, the thing was, we did try to write new stuff, but I remember Mike always being like, "I want to sound like the old stuff," and unfortunately, you can't go backwards.
The thing,
it's almost to me.
The thing with District 9 and writing new shit is that if we're gonna write something new, we're gonna have to cater to the fucking vocals.
Yeah.
And we're gonna need those vocals here and now.
Yeah.
We can't hear it later on when we already wrote the fucking riff.
And at that point, Mike was living in another time zone.
Yeah,
so we're working over on the East Coast. He's on the West Coast. It's we did have internet, at that point, and we had good internet, but. It's easier when you have guys all in one room.
Right.
And you're chopping away at the bit.
Exactly. For me, that's the greatest way to write fucking music. That's the greatest way. If the vocalist is in the fucking room.
Yeah.
And we're able to bounce fucking ideas from rhythm guitar player, the lead guitar player, the bass player, the fucking, that's the best place to make a fucking riff and great music. And that's what I missed with the first District 9. When the first District 9 came together, we was able to write riffs and everything right there on the spot.
Yeah.
And that never happened again. That never happened again because from the first District 9 to fucking where we are now, there was 100 different lineups.
Yeah, it's hard to like solidify shit when you have a dozen people pulling you all different ways, and
yeah, because for me, I need to get used to the rhythm section because I view when I play. I view myself as a vocalist as well. You know what I mean? I take the rhythm section and I excel on whatever the rhythm section is doing to make it a little bit more vocalized for Mike.
Yeah.
So if we can't have that scenario, there's no way we could write anything new. Which I would love to write something new fucking District 9, which we're trying to do right now. With my nigga AK Ray, we're trying to do some shit right now to make some, but there's still, roadblocks.
Yeah,
still roadblocks.
Unfortunately, I think, if that's gonna happen, like I said,
and I'm not one of them niggas that's gonna just jump up on stage and fucking play. I need to know niggas before I fucking play on stage, my nigga.
Well, like I said, if any lineup is ever going to fucking play these songs again or play new songs, it's got to be the South Bronx Memoir lineup, in my opinion. And that has nothing to do with me being a part of the band. It has to do with the
chemistry.
The chemistry between the musicians in the band was tight, and, it really didn't take a lot of rehearsing. And
no.
I think what ultimately fucked up that lineup, besides the Webster Hall thing, was just Mike.
Which was funny because the Webster Hall thing could go anyway.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And what I mean by the Webster Hall thing is that
we wasn't at our fucking best.
We
that Philly fucking show,
we were on point.
We crushed that fucking shit. But at the same time, we monitored the drugs that we was taking. So.
Yeah, there was a lot of misfirings at the Webster Hall show.
Yeah.
Mike was, Mike was in another kind of another place at that point.
I can't blame the whole thing on Mike.
No, you can't. But I never did. My thing was it was just going. If we would have continued at the rate we were doing it at that point, it would have self-destructed eventually anyway.
Yeah.
And,
but that's the beauty of that District 9 shit.
Yeah.
That's the beauty because you guys we all had District 9 had a whole bunch of lineups, and I'm not gonna shit on anybody that was on the lineup.
I was in the band longer than you.
Yeah. And I'm not gonna shit on anybody's lineup.
No,
everyone
played a different part.
They did their thing, but District 9 has a certain swing to it that maybe not all musicians are used to.
Yeah,
it had a dirty, and that's where the blues thing comes into fucking play. That's where the blues and the fucking shit that we was into, all that Who fucking shit and all that shit that we were into played a certain part.
Well, we're cherry picking influences at that point, not afraid to throw it into
exactly.
the mix.
Exactly. It was like,
that was
this
different.
is who I am. I'm bringing this to the table. This is who you are.
Yeah.
You're bringing it. And Lou did the same thing. Todd did the same thing. Because I can't front as a bass player, that fucking last fucking recording that we did, Todd fucking killed that fucking shit. And we said that to him, and it was almost as if he fucking was in the fucking room playing those fucking tracks.
Yeah. And
I give my hats up to what Todd did.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, again, I'm very proud of that recording. Yeah. I'm proud of that lineup. You know,
that was one of the best recordings that we did as a District 9 lineup.
You only did 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you had the School of Hard Knocks thing. You had the Antics comp track. Then we wound up actually 4. We went redoing Antics for another comp with Armando singing on it, and then the School of Hard Knocks thing. And that was it. I mean, that was the shitty part because the output was never really great.
Not for nothing. I think that's what makes District 9 so great is the inability to fucking grasp onto what District 9 was. You know, 451 was a certain band, and they had that lineup. You guys had that lineup.
Well, the thing was how with the Fahrenheit thing, and I will not, you know. I mean, will we ever play a Shogun? I can't say. And honestly, I'm not banking on it. It has it has nothing to do with, you know. We could do it again.
Yeah,
but guys have other responsibilities right now, and we're all a lot older, and it's not the first thing on some guy's priority list.
Right.
And you know, and for me, I'll go either way. If it happens, great. If it doesn't happen, I got other stuff to do. It's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine.
But you guys had that same lineup.
And that was the thing. It has to be, again,
it has to be
those
lineup.
guys.
Yeah, it has to be.
We were never a band to really
with District 9
scab out, you know?
Unfortunately.
Yeah, well, you went through a lot.
There was a lot of scabs where, I mean...
Not like scabs, but, you know, we went...
Nigga scabs! But I'm not going to front. I'm not going to try to disrespect anybody who played for District 9 and try to make that band, you know, do what they have to do. But unfortunately, there's a certain sort of rhythm that you have to play with District 9. It's a swagger. It's a fucking swag. You gotta sniff a line off your E string to fucking... I'm sorry. That's how it... Nigga, I'm sorry. You gotta sniff a line off your fucking E string to fucking play those type of tracks. There was certain lineups that we had did, even with you.
Yeah.
Me with you, and certain lineups that wasn't...
It wasn't really popping on all cylinders.
Because that swag wasn't there. But the Philly show and the fucking Webster Hall show, those were the guys that was available to give you that fucking...
Yeah.
That extra edge that you swing on that District 9 fucking music. You know what I mean? That's...
Yeah, no, and that was a very powerful lineup. That was a very powerful record, and you know what? Again,
strong.
You know,
that shit was fucking strong.
That's, you know, if that band ever happens again, I would say
it would have to be
that lineup
because there's no way of getting the original.
No, you'll never get the original anyway. It just is.
And that was the closest that you could get to the original lineup.
Yeah,
that was the closest. You know what I mean? Creativity-wise, the swag-wise, I mean, even behind red tape, when you take it from what Close Call was doing to what we were doing, it's night and day.
Well, a lot, not for nothing, a lot of the District 9 set songs were old Close Call songs.
Except for like Payback, Victim,
there were about 3 or 4 songs that weren't, but a majority of like the songs were old Close Call songs.
Right, you know, and to reinvent those tracks, you need certain individuals.
Yeah, and we wound up doing some of those songs, giving them fresh life.
Right.
Now, quick question. What's your favorite District 9 song to play? I mean, if you had to pick, I'll give you 2 because it's hard to pick just one.
Well,
because I got my 2.
If I had to pick one, it would be Victim because I had a hand in writing those tracks.
And if you had to pick a second?
It would be Payback.
Really?
And the only reason why I picked Payback is because that was the first song that was really District 9. Because you know, Frank wrote that song.
Yeah.
And that song was originally intended for Without a Cause.
Yeah.
451 was never even heard of yet at that fucking time.
And to be honest with you, at that time, the whole Without a Cause thing, when we were going through that transition period,
you guys was probably not ready for that.
No, and
you guys was probably not ready.
We
for
didn't
that
have we didn't have the right.
But we
thing
were
happening. Yeah,
we guys
had it.
We were ready.
Yeah.
And the thing was, at that time, I was basically a fucking sponge.
Yeah.
And I was soaking up. I was soaking up what you guys were doing with Without a Cause. I was soaking up what they were doing with Close Call, and then I was able to invent my own sound.
Yeah.
With the new tracks that Frank was introducing. So Frank introduced Payback. Loki introduced Think About It, and I introduced Victim. So those 3 songs was originally District 9 fucking tracks. You know what I mean? So I would say those were the best times for me with the District 9 shit.
My 2 favorites to play was probably Think About It. No, Live Life actually. Live Life, because it just started off. It just started off from with like, here you go, motherfucker. And
see, for me, Live Life was still a Close Call song,
which I get, but for me, it's fun to play live.
And it is fun to play.
And Victim was the other one that I really liked.
I really love to play Victim, man. And the way we introduced, the way we did the Victim track was really, really solid. Like,
you're welcome. Because I actually wound up rearranging a lot of riffs. And
it was really, really
I was like,
solid.
Oh, we could make this way fucking tighter.
And when I
bigger.
got introduced, that's where I want to point out where you guys were doing the Victim tracks allowed me to fucking play around with it.
Well,
I was able to jump around in and out of those fucking riffs that you guys had already cemented.
Yeah, no. Well, the riffs were there. It was just playing with a bit more swagger.
Right.
It was kind of like we took it, we gave a solid foundation to it finally. Which it was always a very loose song. Which
came from a live Pearl Jam. Actually, that's where that fucking track came from.
I mean, my favorite part about that song, especially, is the ending part,
which is Frank's contribution, the fucking Black Sabbath fucking
That was always a lot of fun to just do live and watch people
definitely
lose their fucking minds.
And then to break that fucking track, to break that Sabbath sound into and we played it a whole bunch of different ways.
Yeah, we did.
Which was really, really great.
I remember fucking when I'd go hang out, because I used to go up to the Bronx all the time, especially up to your crib.
Sheridan, nigga.
Yeah, and again, this is like, mid-late 90s, and we would
94, 93.
Well, there was
95.
that, but then when we would just be hanging out, around like 97, 98.
Yeah.
I remember going up to the Bronx. First off, the only other white motherfuckers you see up in the Bronx were crackheads.
Pretty much.
Or motherfuckers looking to score dope.
Niggas was copping.
Yeah.
Either way, niggas was copping.
And I was smart enough to know never to bring my own stuff.
No.
Because everyone talks about, people of color getting stopped and the white guys never get stopped. I got stopped so many fucking times coming off the train.
Yeah, it gets reversed when you come to the Bronx.
Yeah.
People would immediately stop a white nigga because they thought, obviously, they're copping from fucking...
Yeah, and I knew better, because when I would go up when Frank and Armando lived on Hoffman, or if I went to Broner, same stop, the Fordham stop, so many times I would get stopped by the cops. What are you doing up here? Oh, Bronins. And without even like saying anything else, they'd start feeling my pockets.
Of course.
I'm like, yo, this is fucking intrusive. I'm like, really? All right, whatever. I got none on me, because I knew better than I was gonna get stopped.
Yeah.
Because I had been stopped before. I even, back in the Without a Cause days, I didn't smoke weed. You know, no, I didn't. Sorry, I had a lot of responsibilities on my plate dealing with somebody else who was really strung out.
Okay.
And
Alex.
someone had to be the sober guy, so to speak.
Right.
You know, I didn't drink. You know, if I drank, it was very rarely. I had screwed around. I mean, I had smoked way back in the late 80s, early 90s, a little bit before I got into band stuff. I didn't like it at that time.
You didn't like weed?
It made me paranoid.
Okay.
And I didn't touch it again until 94, you know, towards the end of the band, because I knew the end was coming, and I knew at that point I didn't have to look out for anybody. And, you know, it really wasn't until the Fahrenheit thing kicked off that, you know, really got into...
Full-pledged ass.
Yeah, pothead.
Yeah.
I was a straight fucking pothead.
Yeah.
And I got into everything else after that. And
Yeah,
it was
that's
fun.
right. That's right, nigga.
And I remember going up to, like, you know, we'd go and chill out at Dred's house playing dominoes.
Which you was basically the only white face.
Yeah, and we'd be playing here's the thing. It was always funny because I played dominoes in Dred's house. I played down in the street.
Yeah.
And I remember playing in the street one time, you know, and I hated playing dominoes with partners. Because I'd rather play 4 dudes against each other.
Yeah, but we didn't play like that.
And they would always stick me with fucking Dred, but I'm going to get to what you're thinking about. I know what you're thinking about. And I just remember one day we're sitting there, we're playing dominoes, and I look down, Dred's got a duffel bag. And, you know, it's really close to, like it's warm out. What the fuck's in the duffel bag?
Right.
You know, like, motherfucker's got a sweatshirt.
Right.
I was like, Dred, what's in the duffel bag?
I already knew what was in there.
Yeah, and he actually unzipped it and let me, I was like, look, oh, sawed-off shotgun.
Blood clot, I sawed off this shotgun myself, you know.
And I was like, all right, cool. You know, I didn't think anything of it because I grew up around guns. So I was just like, all right, word, you know. And I remember, you know, I was a terrible domino player. I'll be the first person to admit it because I wasn't.
Yes.
I was never counting ahead.
Yeah.
I'd say, there's a 6. I got a 6.
Yeah, motherfucker.
And I would lock out
This
a
nigga
side.
never fucking counted. He never counted.
I'm just throwing down stuff because I got it. That's how I looked at it. And one day with Dred, we used to play in the middle. We used to play in the middle of his living room on a card table.
Yeah.
And there'd always be.
Mind you, Dred sold coke and weed out his house.
Yeah, I did.
He you know, he was fucking making paper while we was playing fucking dominoes.
Yeah. Also, I'd be like, hold on a second. He'd go to the door.
Hold
handle
on,
business.
man.
Yeah. And he'd come back and we'd go back into our game. You know.
Motherfucker want an 8-ball, you know.
Yeah. and so we're sitting there, and the whole time, you know, we're smoking weed. He's spraying Money House Blessed fucking shit around,
Yeah.
and he's got the fucking Nong Chamba going.
Incense blowing.
Yeah.
No pork in my crib.
Yeah. And I remember quite a few times, you know, I'd be like, you know, because it was always usually like Caesar and Phil Rivers would partner up. And then they would like be, oh no, I'm partnering
Because
with
we
Dred.
knew better. Because
Yeah,
we knew better.
Dred took his dominoes mad serious.
Serious, yo.
He took it fucking
Why
real
you
serious.
think he fucking had the shotgun on the side?
And I just remember going like, hey, white boy, you locked me out, white boy.
You know what, motherfucker? No aluminum for you, white boy.
Meanwhile, what we mean by aluminum is that, you know,
He can't sniff a bump.
No, I had to get past on the bumps going around.
He done fucked up. He done fucked up. You play a 6 on the wrong fucking card. You can't sniff on this turn, white boy. You can't sniff on this turn.
And it was terrible because I was
And he was serious with his fucking
oh
shit.
no, he didn't play.
He was serious because I remember coming to Dred's crib, and I'm stupid for doing this because I know Dred, and he's a fucking roster. So why the fuck are you gonna bring pork to his fucking crib? So I bought pork fried rice with fucking rib tips to his fucking crib, and I got bumped on the fucking side. Like I couldn't sniff because I had pork. I could not sniff, but it was the same thing with him. He made a wrong turn. You can't sniff on this turn, man. You can't, Leroy, sniff for this white boy. Leroy, Take this white boy sniff.
And I was the only white dude for fucking miles up in the Bronx. And
I would say even more than miles.
I never had a problem going up to the Bronx because I grew up in the projects.
Yeah, because you was going to fucking Leon getting your fucking half ounces for $30, motherfucker.
Black would get a half. $30.
Yeah, exactly.
But half of it was fucking shake.
But I can't front. You was not the only white boy that came through. You was not the only one.
Who was the other one?
Steve Freelander. Steve Freelander came through many a times and got skipped. And he didn't even know. He didn't even know. Like, he couldn't even read the ebonics that we were talking. Like,
I knew. I knew what was going on
because he was from the projects, nigga.
Yeah, and just being the only white guy in the band too.
You end up fucking understanding what's going on.
I'm like,
Steve. He didn't understand what was going on. When he got skipped, Steve thought it was regular. Lenny knew.
I knew
I
knew not to answer back. Or
Lenny knew.
I'm just gonna shut the fuck up and
Lenny knew.
Keep it quiet.
Lenny knew.
You know.
You know who I would love to have fucking taken to the fucking hood?
Who?
Was Kevin Gill.
Oh.
I would have loved to fucking take Kevin Gill to fucking Dred's crib.
Oh, and make him his partner.
Hey, yo, I would have loved to see what was popping after that.
That wouldn't have been good though.
No, because Kev, he was living off his own fucking high horse over there with your fucking mushroom swastika motherfucker.
Oh, well, here's a story.
Yeah.
Here's a story. This is classic amongst the few dudes. That really, some dudes know the story. A lot of people don't. Kevin Gill had a party. It's actually out in Whitestone where he used to fucking run SFT.
Yes.
So it was you, me, Loki, Mike, his girlfriend at the time.
And Reach was there.
Was he?
Yes.
I don't remember him being there, but
Reach was there.
And Kevin would throw some cookouts or whatever. He'd throw some slamming parties.
Yeah, he did.
I remember we'd get there, right? And it's only like 6 or 7 of us all together. And
we was already fucked up.
We were already fucked up. We all traveled together to the place.
Right.
You know. So now, we're smoking. Caesar wants to play the drinking game with me. He lost.
My nigga. Nah.
You lost. Well, let me explain. Let me explain why you lost.
All right.
Let me explain why you lost. Let me explain why you lost.
All right.
Smoking weed was never a big thing with us.
No.
That was like smoking these things.
That's fucking eating your fingernails.
It was not a big deal with us. So
Potato vodka.
Well, no, it's poachine. It's like an Irish moonshine. I've had it since. It's fucking actually very nasty.
Yes. And that fucked me up on this.
And he's like, yo, let's start doing shot for this. Okay. I already had drank it. I knew it was nasty.
Mind you, I'm about 16. Okay.
So, smoking and drinking is never a good mix.
No.
This guy goes into the other room with Kevin Gill, starts fucking eating shrooms. He starts eating shrooms, right? So he's already in the bag, He's already in the fucking bag.
Hey, I'm already fucked up.
You're way beyond fucked up. And so at some point in the night, we're hanging out, whatever, we're drinking, smoking. I knew better than to eat shrooms with the alcohol and the weed in me.
And of course, nobody told me or warned me about any of that.
So, at some point in the night, and there are pictures, someone has pictures of this.
It has to be.
No, there are pictures. I'm sure Kevin Gill has these pictures, and he ain't putting them up.
It was beautiful.
And so, at some point in the night, Mike's girlfriend starts drawing like a D9 logo on his arm. Right? This is before Caesar had one tattoo.
Which was innocent. Yeah.
Which was innocent.
Which was fucking innocent.
No, so now everyone else starts drawing spider webs on his elbow.
So innocent.
And I see this inside of his arm, I write Devo for some stupid reason. I
had that.
I thought it was funny.
But what's the worst part of that, Len?
Well, the worst part of it was, we're going on, I look around, I see a fucking one of those big tip pilot markers.
American History X was out.
American History X had just come out.
Right.
They're like, wouldn't it be funny if I drew a swastika on his pec?
Yeah, on a Puerto Rican black nigger.
So I sit there and, this is like the last, he's already covered in marker. with these terrible.
I didn't need any more. I didn't need any more.
But he got one more. And so I drew an American History X Edward Norton style swastika on his pec. Now,
and this shit has to be about fucking 12 inches on my foot.
It was huge. And anyway, it's time to go home. I think we may have overstayed our welcome. Kevin Gill may have thrown her out.
Get the fuck out of here. You don't gotta go home, but get the fuck out of my house. Yeah.
And for some reason, the bus that used to run up the block from Kevin
the Q44
was not running. So we had to walk like 2 miles to another bus. So Caesar now is not doing so well.
No, because I'm already fucked up. I'm already vomiting on mushrooms, fucking potato-ass vodka, whatever the fuck I drink, and weed, which probably wasn't even in my system anymore after that fucking point in time.
No. And so we start walking to another bus, and we had to walk about 2 miles in Whitestone, Queens.
Trying to get into the Bronx.
And at some point, Caesar loses
my shirt.
He loses his shirt. I don't know where it fucking went. He had it on when we left. And
actually, I had 2 shirts. I had a fucking tee and a tank top.
Well,
somehow I lost both.
I think you probably threw up and wiped your mouth.
Yeah.
Because, dude, you were throwing up in everyone's yard for like 2 miles.
Yes. Yes. I was actually projectile vomit. Like, I was fucking vomiting that shit 2 feet away from my face at that point in time.
So, now he doesn't have a t-shirt anymore.
No.
We get on a city bus. He gets on. I don't even think he paid the fucking fare.
Nope. None of us.
No, I don't think any of us paid the fare. And here he is, sitting on the bus by himself.
Puerto Rican black nigga with a fucking swastika as huge as fucking day on my fucking chest.
And I'm thinking to myself, like, oh my god. It's like I'm laughing at the same time. I'm like, I didn't think it was gonna end like this. I thought, all right. He's gonna wear his t-shirt. He's gonna go home. He's gonna wake up in the morning.
It didn't work out like that.
No, but then here's the thing: we take a bus over either Throgsneck or Whitestone Bridge.
Throgsneck.
And we ended up in Westchester Square.
Yes.
And then now we're walking through Westchester Square. This guy's torn out of his fucking mind.
I'm still vomiting.
He's still puking. You didn't puke on the bus though.
No.
You didn't puke on the bus, which was amazing.
Yeah, which was great actually because I didn't want to feel like that asshole nigga with a swastika vomiting.
Yeah, so now we have to get on a fucking New York City subway train.
Yeah, that was great.
And here he is. He's sitting there.
With all the brothers. Boricuas, all that.
With a big swastika on his fucking chest. The next morning, I remember you told me your mother woke you up. It's like, hey, come on, papa.
It's like, what the fuck do you have on your chest? I mean, my mother's, she's fucking black. She's black, and I'm in the living room because I have no bedroom of my own, and I'm living in the living room, and I wake up with this. I still gotta go to school. I still gotta go to fucking school, and this fucking swastika is on my. Hold on, let me bring this back to where we get to 161st Street with the swastika on my fucking chest, and I still have to walk to my crib with no fucking shirt, and it's me and Mike, and there's everybody in the street looking at me like, look at this fucking bendejo ass motherfucker with a swastika on his fucking chest.
Yeah, but this wasn't the only time. See, Caesar would take it one step further. You had a habit of this.
I would take it one step. Me. When I'm fucked up.
All right, let's explain.
I took it one step further?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about, being so fucked up out of your mind. All right, fine. Maybe I shouldn't have drew on his chest.
Okay.
Maybe I should have
Maybe? What?
Maybe I should have did this, but I did, okay?
Let's talk about fucking...
The thumb? All right.
Was that a reason?
Yeah, there was a reason, because when I used to get fucking high, like, on hallucinogenics, I knew there was a few rules I knew. I ain't going swimming, because I'm going to drown. I am not standing on top of a building, because I can't fly.
Len, I'm 14.
I don't give a fuck how old you were. You should have known better. And guess what? Fire, it burns.
Yes!
So,
yes, it does!
So we're on our way to a gig, and
New Paltz
New
College.
Paltz College, and Mike and Caesar decide that they're gonna do shrooms.
Yes, but nobody informed me that I could OD on mushroom caps and fucking stems. Nobody informed me, and these are my role models. Look at them.
Don't look at me. Don't look at me.
Nigga, you was there.
I was.
And I looked up to you.
That's fine. I just
Fucked
smoked
up.
weed.
That was a mistake. Yeah, you
I just smoked weed.
yeah,
on that fucking
sure,
trip.
sure.
Either way, though, Caesar's like, I don't
feel any
Caesar,
pain.
Mike, all right, here. Caesar and Mike in the back of the van, and I really wish that footage would be found.
Where we saw the pipe that looked
We
like
get
it
out
was
for
the
the rest
Bronx.
stop, right? Mike and Caesar go, I got a better way to get to the gig. They start trying to crawl through a drainage pipe, a culvert. And I'm like, what do you guys fucking do? It's like, yo, the gig's this way. I'm like, dude, we're like 40 miles.
Maybe it was 2-inch thick, the pipe.
And they're literally trying to get inside the
And we saw the venue and the pipe. Literally, we saw the venue. But that's not the greatest part of the story.
So Caesar's like, I don't feel nothing. And he's doing
I feel no pain.
He's doing this to himself, right? He's like taking his fist. He's like, look at
Punching
me.
myself.
Ha!
Punching myself in the fucking
Ha!
face.
Mike's
I feel
punching
nothing.
you. You're punching Mike.
Yeah.
So he's like, I don't feel nothing.
And-
He's like,
and,
he's like, let me see your hand.
Jen Torpy's there and all.
So Caesar's like, I don't feel nothing.
I
so
feel
I was
shit.
like, look, let me see your hand, motherfucker.
Oh, you don't feel this?
And so I hold a flame under his thumb.
And
Like-
I feel nothing.
And he's like, I feel nothing. I feel nothing. I feel nothing. Yeah, he felt something.
And I still didn't feel anything until the next day. What was that? A Sunday? And I still had fucking school the next day. And this blister.
No, we popped it. We popped it at the show. We actually.
Yes.
You had this. I've seen it on film.
Yes, the blister was horrible.
The blister was like an inch off your thumb.
Thank you, Len.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Fucking.
And I wanted to play lead on the Fahrenheit set.
You did play lead, Frank.
With this fucking blister. Thank you, Len.
You still played lead on the show. Don't worry about it. Well, you know, that's what happens when you get fucked up with friends who just, you know.
Right. Quotations.
Hey, you know what? You know, it's like.
That's my boy. And this
yeah,
is not the only story.
Don't fall asleep at the party. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Don't be that guy.
And I think actually Frank this week posted some shit about falling asleep at a party.
Yeah, well, you know,
If I had maybe, you could say it was 3 thumbs on my thumb.
Yeah.
With the fucking blister that we had, I had. Yeah, that's my boy. Thank you.
That's what you get.
Motherfucker.
You know, because as high as I ever got, even when I was fucking tripping, I knew, like I said, I knew water will drown you. You know,
Yeah, but
I can't fly.
These guys
Fire
are older
burns.
than me. These guys are older than me, man.
You know,
I went into
you were not a responsible drug user.
No, I wasn't.
No,
I wasn't.
No, you weren't.
When I was eating full caps, I didn't give a fuck. When I was sniffing, hold on. Let's talk about fucking Frank's wedding.
I'll talk about fucking Frank's wedding. He's not gonna like this, and
Let's
Frank, you
talk
can
about
give me a
Frank's
thumbs
wedding.
down. So, when Frank got married in, I think it was 2000,
Yes.
we're in the church, right? And I actually did it 2 more times after this. What we did,
Really?
in a church, yeah.
Oh, God bless you.
So, you know, we're all waiting around. Everyone's all dressed up. Out pops a bag of blow.
Where did that come from? I don't know.
The Bronx, probably. And so we're like,
Where are we for that wedding?
we were in New Jersey. We were in
Okay.
Bumblefuck, New Jersey.
All right.
And we're there, and we're like, yo,
Let's take a bump.
let's do a blast.
Yeah.
You know, and it was I think it was you, me, Kevin, Mike,
Joey Rod.
and maybe another head in there. And we go into the church bathroom. We go into the church bathroom. Mike puts his foot against the door.
Yes.
And now we're passing around
So
the
we're
dollar
good
bill.
now. Mike has his foot in front of the door, so we're good to
Yeah,
blast
no one's
whatever the
moving Mike.
fuck.
So around goes the dollar bill and the Metro card, right? Or the key. And we're all like, this is a
Taking our
church.
bumps. Yes. In the church bathroom.
In the church bathroom. Next thing you know, someone tries to come in. It's the priest that's doing the wedding.
But we didn't know that.
And what did Mike say?
We're blocking this fucking, or he's blocking this fucking guy to come into the fucking, to the bathroom and shit.
and Mike goes, chill out. You know, we're like, oh, sorry, Father. You know, and we're all like...
And he comes into the fucking bathroom after my... And we're all...
Bless
I'm sorry, Father.
I've sinned.
Oh, yeah.
and I actually did that. I've done that at a couple people's weddings. I was in... I don't want to say... fuck it. Dave Mitchell. I'll say it.
Really?
He got married in a synagogue.
Sorry, Dave.
Actually, no. He got married in a non-denominational church.
Jewish?
Yeah. Well, it was a non-denominational church because his wife at that time was not Jewish, and I go, you know, I have a bag of blow on me. I'm like, all right, well, what do I do? Where am I going? And I'm thinking, I don't know where the bathroom is in this place. I don't want to ask her because I was already fucking in the hotel room blazing, and I'm like, you know, I'm starting to get sleepy. I was like, I need to pick me up, so I'm looking around. I'm like, confessional booth.
Oh, what the fuck?
So I step, you know, first thing I do is actually I look into the main booth to make sure there ain't a priest hiding out.
Ain't nobody there.
There ain't nobody there, so I slide in like real slide, and I'm in the confessional booth like fucking creature in the fucking confessional booth, and I'm sitting there just shoveling it, you know, and that's not the worst part because. Me and Dave's brother and a few other dudes, when we went to the party afterwards, we're in the bridal suite rolling blunts.
Oh, yes!
And the wife comes out and you guys are fucking animals. And, you know,
That's right!
And that's the type of people we were. You know, unfortunately, that's, you know, I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds of, like, bad drug stories.
That,
I mean, I could do, like, 4 episodes just on drug stories alone. You know, and, like...
I always loved that fucking story of us getting high in fucking pyramid. And Todd fucking thinking he saw a floor.
Oh yeah, District 9 played Pyramid.
Yeah.
And I remember we were like, well, we didn't want to go outside and smoke a blunt because we knew the block was hot.
Yeah, Popo would have bagged us before we played.
So we're like, well, there's no really place to go smoke. The pyramid had this little cubby hole thing. Really, it was an emergency exit.
Right.
And I remember Billy Club's playing on stage.
Right. And yes, and we're fucking blazing a fucking storm out there.
And here's a funny thing: Billy Club's playing. We don't even wait in between songs.
No.
Me, him, and Todd single file it. Like straight while they're playing, like excuse me guys, pardon me. You know, and we,
on stage,
we go into this little cubby area. We start fucking blazing
burning it down.
You know, burning the place down. Fucking.
And Todd thought he saw a floor.
Well, yeah, there was actually instead of stairs, there was a ladder to get into this little pit area.
Right.
Todd, you know, Todd did what he did. He fucking fell about 4 feet. You know,
but he was good because he still had the blunt. He was good. He was still good. He was able to pass off. Everything was gravy, yo. It was still good, yo. That was one of my favorite fucking places. Wetlands.
Well, unfortunately, they're really the funny thing is I've been talking about that with so many people about like just the different places that are no longer around anymore. And as much I played CB's probably like 24 times. Right. And
I never got to play CB's, by the way.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
I got to play it a lot, and you know what? I liked CB's for the PA system. The PA system always kick ass, but Wetlands and Coney were their own animals. And
I think honestly because we took over those venues.
Well, yeah.
We took over those venues like Coney Island. Was one of those spots where we just felt so comfortable.
Oh yeah.
We fucking take a line right on the stage, or we'll burn a blunt right on the fucking stage. We didn't have those fucking.
Well, you could also smoke cigarettes back in the back then, so it would be like, oh, it's just a cigar. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You know, and that was the difference. And then and I've spoken to Kevin Smith about this. Then there was a point that. Around 98, we all really got badly into cocaine.
Unfortunately.
You know, I mean, and it was just everywhere. It really was.
And his nickname was Ricky.
Ricky, I don't know, Ricky Ricardo,
Yeah.
Blow,
Ricardo.
and so we
Aluminum Monster, you know.
tons of names for it. It was everywhere at that point. It really was. For the last couple of years of the band, that was just everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, and I'll tell you, you find out real quick, you'd be like, this motherfucker wants to get down. Really?
Really?
You know, you're like, okay, sure.
Oh, alright.
And me and Kevin were talking about it just not that long ago, how we used to fucking dump it in the blunts and not tell anybody.
Yeah, all the time. Man.
All the time.
You see a nigga's face get numb, like.
Yeah, it was like straight up like, ooh, he's not reacting to this well.
I think.
Yo, what kind of weed is this?
What
Just
is
keep
this?
smoking. You'll be fine. It's from the Bronx. You'll be fine. Which isn't a lie. It was from the Bronx.
Alright, yeah, exactly.
You know, we just didn't tell him about the white stuff.
Right.
You know,
It's menthol, nigga.
it's menthol.
We got the menthol trees, nigga.
Like I said, we could talk about drugs for the next like 2 weeks, and it would just never.
I had so many fucking.
It was one of those things, and you know.
I remember. I hope I don't shit on nobody on right here, yo, cause I remember District 9 played a show with Lords of Brooklyn, Kings of Brooklyn.
Lords of Brooklyn.
And we was there and we trying to smoke fucking weed and shit. We ain't got no roll ups. And Mike decides to roll up in a dollar bill and shit.
I smoked out a loose leaf.
And it's like the dollar bill was horrible. And fucking we're there and Lords of Brooklyn's like, oh, look at all the spics fucking the fucking spics want to see us play. Mind you, they don't know we're on the bill. And we are kind of spickish. You know, Mike, me, you know.
Yeah.
Kind of spickish. But Mike took offense to that shit. And Mike steps up to a fucking... And I was shitting bricks. Because I'm a lover, not a fighter. You know, I'm fucking shitting bricks because Mike hears that spick comment. And he fucking blows the fuck up, yo.
See, I could say it to Mike, but it's different with me.
It's different. It's different because you're a black fucking white nigga, so... you know what I mean? Like, the blackest white motherfucker we know. But when he gets it from somebody else,
yeah,
Mike takes offense.
And I don't blame him.
And he fucking steps up to all these fucking Lord of Brooklyn niggas. And I'm fucking scared as fuck. And he's willing to take on all these cats. And he's like, yo, fuck y'all niggas. Yeah, speak this, speak that. Yo, you know, it's like... And we got away without a scratch, my nigga.
Yeah.
Without a fucking scratch, yo.
We used to get away with a lot back then, though. I mean, I look at it and I'm like, wow. How no one got...
we took Lemmy's... fucking jack. We took Lemmy's jack.
We got stories for days. Me and Caesar, and between me, Caesar, Mike, Frank, Kevin,
Kev,
and Bocci.
Fucking Bocci throwing his fucking hat away.
I mean, we used to. Here's the thing: when Mike was living up with Frank and Hoffman,
oh my god,
we would show up at like 10 o'clock in the morning. Like me, Kevin, and Adria, and we just start at 10 in the morning. Sniffing, tripping, smoking,
whatever
drinking.
it was.
And whatever there was, we were on it and we were doing it. And you only had to go down the block or 2 blocks away to get more. Everyone would take up a collection.
Exactly.
It's like who got what on what. It's like, you know, I got
what we need, what we want.
You know, it's like, and again, weed was never the issue. It was all the other fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, it was like, let's get tabs.
Weed was a given.
There was 0 fucks given.
Mushrooms and fucking Ricky and all that shit. I mean, ecstasy wasn't even around back then.
It was, but you know what?
We wasn't fucking...
You know what it was? The problem with ecstasy was it was expensive.
Yeah.
Considering everything else...
I mean, coke itself was expensive.
Not... You know, but what it's going for now...
It depends on who you was fucking with. Because if I was sniffing with you, 2 aluminums would be alright.
Oh, yeah.
If I was fucking with Mike, nigga... 2 aluminums was not enough.
2 aluminums about 5 minutes.
Yeah, that shit was not enough.
And that's the way it was back then. You know, we were the fiends.
Right.
You know? But
yeah.
the thing was, and because.
And unfortunately, during that era, there wasn't a lot of music made. I think more music was made on like mushrooms and weed.
Yeah.
More music was made on that. Once we started getting into the coke era, there was no music made.
It was just
getting fucked up.
Yeah, we're just getting fucking. It
was just getting fucked up.
Yeah, but that was part of growing up.
Yeah,
we were all young. Yeah. We were indestructible.
And for me, because I idol you guys. I fucking did the same thing that you guys did. So I was like, oh, if these guys can make fragments on this on this fucking drug, I'm gonna fucking try to make addicts on this fucking drug. You know what I mean? Like, that's how it was. That's how it was.
And
it was fun times though.
It's fun
Birthdays,
times.
Everybody. It was a family atmosphere.
Yeah. It was almost like a hippie commune type of deal.
Especially between Without a Cause and District 9, because we shared not only music, but we shared members.
We shared a lot of members. Even Ray Malone played in...
Right. Joel...
that's the one thing with the two bands. They were like two brother bands.
Right.
Everyone shared members for the most part. You
guys got the best of the bands. Fuck you, motherfuckers. But,
we were just in that position, at that point, and take it or leave it for what it is. We were just.
It was great music back then.
But just like any other thing, after a while you're on tour with a lot of guys for a while. You're in the rehearsal studios with guys for all. You're seeing more of those guys than you are your family.
Pretty much.
You are your girlfriend.
Pretty much.
And so after a while it becomes like an ugly relationship.
Yes.
And that's
and for hate, for love.
Yeah, and
it was just
right now there's no hate. We all love each other.
Now.
I'm gonna say this right now, the last couple of years, me and Mike Rivera didn't talk. And he had his own issues, and I'm gonna be talking with Mike in the next month or so about it, and we finally squashed our beef, and he's doing well.
Which when we say beef, and our shit is different from what the fuck y'all niggas probably think, yo. You know what I mean? Because even if we had beef with one another, there was always that respect.
Yeah.
There was always that fucking respect. There was no talking dirty about a nigga. There was none of that fucking bullshit.
Well,
because we was all some fucked up ass niggas from the beginning anyway.
Well, here's the thing, and this is how I look at things when I play with people and bands and things. Don't take it personally. The music thing is one thing. If we're all boys, you can get past your bullshit and still be boys.
And listen closely, because this is where the evolution begins.
You have to get past. I've played in bands with so many people that I've just I can't use you for whatever reason, and
it's nothing fucking personal.
And it's not personal. It's just it's not working for whatever reason. Nigga. It's not a personal thing. It's like it's not if it's not working, it's not working. I gotta go to plan B,
which unfortunately other people take on a different level.
People take things personally, and it's like. And that's been my downfall with a handful of people because they have taken it personally. Other people go, no problems,
I've been through that.
And they might not work for this project, but they'll work for this, and that's how it is. Again, I don't take things personally. It's just music. It's at this point in the game, I'm not playing music because I'm looking to make money. You gotta be stupid. You think you make a living off of music at this point?
Not right now.
Not right now, and it ain't like it was. And. Right now, anything I do, it's for fun. And it's going to be for fun because I have...
That's what we do.
You have to have some sort of outlet.
Right.
When you sit down to, write stuff, what's your process of how you write?
When I write things, I have no preference to vocals. I have no preference to who I'm playing with. That that riff that comes out is at that vibe at that fucking time. At that fucking time. And I could say that with Victim is a perfect scenario. Because when Victim started with how I was writing at that time. And who I was listening to at that time. And at that time, I was listening to people like Pearl Jam and shit like that. So the opening riff of Victim is actually the opening riff of Alive. Where it's coming in on that A.
Yeah, I see that.
You know what I mean? When I brought it to the band that was District 9 at the time, which was Frank and Loki, Frank took the do as basically a Black Sabbath part. Which, one?
No, I got
Oh, you are.
I'm just saying how many you got if I have to go to the store now.
No.
That's how we do. We bum. So I'm saying, like, nowadays, how do you approach, like, when you write? Because, I mean, you're like me. We're constantly creating. I
don't write any riffs for any specific project. When I make music, it's just music.
Yeah.
It's just music. Whether it's slide, open tunings, or fucking drop D, regular E tuning, I just write. And, you know, you've seen that in the projects that we've had or whatever. It's something specific when you trying to write for like District 9 or something like that.
Of course.
Because there's a specific attitude that you have to take with those type of riffs. Let's say if we're writing for something like Wolf and Waters or some shit like that, there's a certain specific side of riffs that you're gonna come up for that type of shit. And I like to think as myself as I'm not a hardcore guitar player or a specific type of guitar player. I write music. You know what I mean? And it's the same thing I see with you or Frank or, you know, we just write music. And whatever project that we're in at the point in time, that's the riff that we're going to take to that fucking project. You know what I mean? It's not any... it's not like I set out to write any type of riff. I just write music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's unfortunate that hardcore bands, and that's what separates, you know, 451, District 9, VOD, No Redeeming Social Values, Roguish Armament. That's what separated us from the regular music that was out at that point in time. We make music just to make music.
Yeah.
It's not a specific genre that we're writing to. You know what I mean? Because if you break down Payback into certain riffs, that could be jazz riffs.
It is jazz riffs.
You know what I mean? Those chords.
That's Frank in his jazz mode.
Right. Those chords and all of those fucking riffs, those could easily be, you know, Alex Skolnick fucking writing some fucking jazz type music. You know what I mean? It could, and I could even see it in bands such as Burn. You know what I mean? Gavin, he writes riffs. Not specifically for a genre, but just music-wise. You know what I mean?
They just happen to get lumped in.
Yeah, right. It just so happens that those riffs get lumped into those type of things.
Yeah.
Because this certain artist that I respect as a hardcore artist, Todd Youth, is one of those type of guys where I would fucking... I would put where he's not making actual hardcore riffs. it's just fucking music. It's just music that happens to get lumped up into maybe punk type of fucking. Todd Youth is one of my, especially as hardcore. Todd Youth, Gavin, all those guys, they have a certain style to them that most hardcore niggas don't have. You know what I mean? You could branch blues music, jazz music, pop music, R&B music into fucking hardcore, and those are the type of guys that are like us. We can do those type of things, and then there's those certain bands that unfortunately they can't. It's just the 4/4 fucking.
Well, it becomes more formulated.
Yeah, it's just those 4/4 hardcore power chord meat music. You know what I mean? Like,
but you know, it's like at the same time, like I find myself coming full circle because I'm doing something right now where it's back to that basic thing. But I know I can.
Yeah, but your influences are not just that.
Yeah, no, and I get that, and
it's not just that.
And my thing is, you know, I always find myself, you know, stepping out of hardcore every once in a while,
right?
And it's like they drag me back in, you know,
but you still bring those influences. You still bring those influences with you. You know what I mean? You still, because Fragments, you know, Afraid, all of those tracks are not initially what we would call hardcore music.
We just got lumped into that.
But you would get lumped into that shit because it's heavy. But it's still melodic, beautiful music.
The crazy
you know what I mean?
thing was, especially with that you mentioned that, when we had no problem. We would play other gigs constantly. And we would play rock gigs.
You see, I remember back in those days when we just first started at District 9.
Yeah.
451, you guys would get snubbed because it's not. The riffs was not initially hardcore fucking
no, they
riffs.
weren't.
You know what I mean?
It's
not
music.
Hardcore. But still, there was heavy fucking music. If you would listen to 311 or, like I said, even Burn, those are not initially hardcore fucking riffs. But the way that they played, I guess you would lump them into those type of fucking.
Well, unfortunately, everything needs a type
brand.
You know, and that's unfortunately the brand they fell into, and
But I remember you guys getting snubbed for the,
of course,
you know, but later on, everybody used to, 451, Fragments and you know, those type of fucking
Blind,
riffs.
4.
Right.
You know.
But you wouldn't consider those hardcore riffs.
No.
But then again, I would consider those hardcore riffs because it has that fucking.
It has
mentality.
an attitude.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
That's the thing. And I think with the newer bands right now,
that gets lost.
It's just like
it's lost.
It's
all those breakdowns and fucking meathead music.
And there's no songs in the riffs. It's just like
there's no emotion.
Well,
there's no fucking
there's
emotion.
there's no songwriting.
And again, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody that's trying to come out right now on that hardcore scene. I'm not trying to disrespect any of that. And I respect all of that. But at the time that we were coming out, 94, 93, 95, 96, there was not one band that sounded like another band. VOD, No Redeeming, 451, District 9, we all sounded different, yo. Six and Violence, we all sounded different, and we had our own niche. You know what I mean? We had our own thing. And I think, honestly, that was... And I'm probably gonna get reamed on this.
That's a fuck, dude. Speak your mind.
But that was probably the best hardcore time. The best hardcore... And I'm not a hardcore child. You know what I mean? I'm not a hardcore child where I could take it back further, which you guys probably could do more better than I can. But that was probably musically the greatest fucking undercover music that you could ever get to. That era right there, which is forgotten and nobody really wants to fucking recognize, but that was probably the best era for fucking hardcore music. And I listen to people who fucking email me or fucking Facebook me from Europe, from Japan, from fucking all these Indonesia. You know what I mean? Where they'll buy you a 7-inch before they buy a loaf of fucking bread.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that right there is what gave me, you know, to go on. Like that gave me the fucking initiative to go on and to make this fucking music the way we've been doing. You know what I mean? Because these people can't even fucking eat, yo. They can't even fucking eat. And they'll buy your fucking 7-inch. You know what I mean? They'll buy your fucking 7-inch.
Nuts.
And they'll tell you that. They'll tell you that this paper that I'm writing you on is worth more than what you're eating right now. You know what I mean? That's hardcore to me. That's what hardcore is about, yo.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what it is about. And we reach those fucking people. We got to those ears. We got to those fucking ears. And honestly, we're nobody. We're nobody. But that music reached those fucking people. And that's a circle that's never gonna be broken. That's ever. You know what I mean? And I'm a dude. We not making money off this shit. We're not fucking living large. I can't buy Les Pauls off of shit that I've sold. You know what I mean? It's like, but that's what reaches people. That's, and I'm pretty sure Burn and all those guys are. Murphy's Law, all those guys get to reach those individuals. How could you imagine not eating and then buying a 7-inch? You know what I mean? How could you imagine that? We over here, we're fucking eating chicken wings and we're all good. But those guys fucking, I'll buy you a 7-inch before I feed my family?
Music's a powerful thing, though.
Very powerful. Very fucking powerful.
Powerful thing. It's nuts, dude.
Yeah, that shit is fucking amazing to me. That's amazing to me, and that's what hardcore is about. That to me, that's what hardcore is. Not what's going on now, and I'm not trying to disrespect anything that's going on now, but it was so diverse when we were in the scene. Roguish Armament, nigga. That was a strict hip hop band playing with fucking hardcore guys.
And they got over.
And they fucking got over. That was way before fucking Eminem, X. That was way before all these fucking commercial people that you see right now. You know what I mean? Beastie Boys probably had it the way we wanted it. You know what I mean? The Beastie Boys, all those cats, they probably had it like that. But the other generation that we inspired, that's what we have to take to our graves. You know what I mean? Those people that we fucking inspired, all those, and we inspired a lot of fucking people, yo. We inspired, because when we disappeared, I'm not gonna say that the scene went to shit, but we inspired a whole bunch of other fucking characters to be a part of a scene. Bond Street was one of those fucking eras, yo, where I was able to see Without a Cause, and that was more hand grabbing than Biohazard or, you know, any one of those groups that we were seeing on MTV. You know what I mean? Fucking Close Call, Without a Cause, and even Rampage at that point, even if they didn't do much.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But they inspired people like Chucky, myself, Kev, to do something great. And that little small period that we had is priceless. That little small period between 92 and like 98, 97, we own that fucking era, yo. We own that era. Even if we don't get the respect that we deserve, we own that fucking era, yo. We put niggas that was already signed on their toes. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That happened
You know what I
quite
mean?
a few times.
We put niggas that was already signed on their fucking toes, like, yo, the underground is coming for you. You know what I mean? And that spawned great music. You know what I mean?
Of course. When you got your first guitar, when you broke the strings, that you put it in the closet like it was like garbage now. It's like, I broke a string. Fuck that. What was your first guitar?
It was a Discovery fucking Strat copy or whatever that I bought from
Ronin's?
Actually, my first guitar came from a pawn shop. Right there on Grand Concourse, right down the block from Bronx. And I got that guitar because it was mad cheap as fuck. So I got this guitar and I wanted to play like you guys and never was able to off that guitar. And my sister was, and she fucking played Twinkle Twinkle Little Star on that guitar.
Rachel?
Yes. And I was pissed as fuck. Because she played that song and I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I banned her for fucking touching my music, my guitar or whatever. And maybe about 6 months down the line, I fucking popped the string. And I thought I broke the guitar. So I ended up hiding that fucking shit for like another 6 months because I didn't want to get fucked up by my pops. Yo,
Oh, you didn't know you could change strings.
I did not know that he could fucking change strings. And when he came to me and was like, yo, you see, I told you, you one of them fucking niggas that fucking never ends up doing what they want to do. And I was like, Dad, look at this fucking G string. And I broke the fucking G string. He's like, you dumb motherfucker, I could fucking replace this. And I was like, God damn it, I didn't even fucking know that, yo. So I didn't play for like 6 months because I thought I broke the instrument. And it was a one pickup guitar. It had one bridge pickup. I don't know what fucking pickup that shit was.
Humbucker?
It was a humbucker pickup.
Probably some license bullshit.
Yeah, it was whatever fucking bullshit it was. And then, you know, I got introduced to Bronin's where we was
yeah, well, that's a whole other story.
yeah, let's not talk about that. I don't know if Andy
You got it for a while there. You were playing Epiphones, and you played Epiphones for
a minute. Actually, the 7-inch was recorded with 2 Epiphones, Black Beauty and a Gold Top Epiphone that I had that had EMG pickups in it, because at the time we was EMG prone.
Yeah.
Like, who cares about a 9-volt battery that you have to put in your Les Paul?
I remember when you finally like graduated. Use that term.
Well, I actually hit you up first because
let me say the story. You were like, I want to hook up my Epiphone. I'm like,
right.
Well, like, why do you want to hook up your Epiphone? Don't you want a real Les Paul?
and I think I actually wanted to buy another one
Yeah.
at that time, and you was like, "Are you stupid?"
It's like, why don't you just save a couple dollars and sell what you have? And me and my wife actually took you to get your first
My first Gibson
Les Paul.
Les Paul, yo.
Which you do not have anymore.
No, a traditional Pro, which I actually sold to get another Gold Top because I wanted to.
And you went through a handful of them. You were trading, selling.
Which I would like to tell people, I do not have 20 fucking Les Pauls, Gibson Les Pauls. What I do is fucking trade them in and fucking get something better or whatever. So don't rob me because you think I have 20 Les Pauls. I don't. I just want to make that clear.
What do you have? About 3 Les Pauls now?
I have 4 Gibson Les Pauls. I have 3 standards and 1 studio, which I use for slide.
All right. And you've recently got into Tellys and Strats?
Yes.
You went to the other side.
Yes, I have. I can't front. As a lead guitar player, I think it's necessary for you to play with humbucker pickups, single coil pickups, because you get a different tone. You get a different tone as opposed, I am a Slash fan, but at the end of the day, people like Jeff Beck and Hendrix, they ring a bell in your fucking head.
Oh yeah, dude.
You know what I mean? And these cats were playing with single coil pickups before they started using
humbuckers
pickups. Even Eric Clapton, they were playing with Telecasters.
Yeah.
Before they started fucking.
A lot of those guys were playing with Esquires.
Yes.
They were playing with Esquires at that point, and it's amazing that the sounds they got out of it. But it's also the player. Like, if you give me anything, I'll make it sound like me.
At the end of the day, that's what it is.
I mean, equipment helps.
Yeah, of course. I mean, if you have high grade equipment that's set up by 30th Street Guitars.
Matt Brewster, he gets mad props in my book.
That man is fucking genius when it comes to fucking set up fucking guitars, and he's done so much of our shit. But when you venture into different type of pickups, you begin to realize that each pickup can be used for a different situation.
Of course. Well, you and me have nerded out about
and we are nerds.
Yeah, we're guitar nerds, unfortunately. I mean, not unfortunately, it's just a fact. I mean, we're tone Nazis.
Right.
I mean, it's like, I am not a pedal guy by any means. I'm a plug-in and play guy. The only thing that
Me too.
The only thing I have interrupting my signal is a tuner.
Yeah.
At this point. And, my thing is always about...
The most I will play with is a wah.
Yeah. And you have quite a few of the same wah.
Right.
You're like, oh, they're not making this anymore. I'm buying it.
Right. Yeah, I'm one of those type of cats that would, if I buy a head or a wah or a slide that they're not gonna make anymore, I'll end up buying 6, 7 of those fucking things just so I can have it in my arsenal. You know what I mean?
I mean, I just remember, like, half the guitars that you had, like, when you first started playing Gibsons,
right,
you just don't have anymore.
I don't.
You either traded them in, or
I upgraded,
or you upgraded to something that you liked,
right.
Whatever. What's the difference between, like, that you see playing with, like, Gibson to Fender?
All right, the Gibson to Fender thing. If you want to get rude and disrespectful, you want to go with Gibson. It's in your fucking face. They got those humbucker pickups that'll fucking blaze your whole fucking front lip off. You know what I mean? Like, that shit would... And I'm sure, people like, Gavin and Todd Youth would probably say the same fucking shit.
Yeah.
But now if you want to get smooth and you want to get into that Hendrixy feel, the Clapton feel where he's not playing the motherly tone, where he's actually playing the, Stratocaster, pretty shit, you want to use those type of instruments for. You know what I mean? There's an instrument for everybody.
Yeah.
There's an instrument for everybody. For me, I like all the fucking instruments, I want every fucking tone that I could possibly grasp, because I'm not happy with just one fucking tone.
No.
You know what I mean? I'm just not happy with that shit. I'm not a hardcore guitar player per se. I'm just a guitar player. And I'll play you a fucking R&B. I'll play you a blues shit. I'll play you a fucking, I'll play you a hardcore riff. You know what I mean? I'm not specific to any one genre. And I'm pretty sure most people from my era is the same way. You know what I mean? We're not specific to one genre of music.
Well, as far as music goes, what have you been doing lately?
Lately, I got some shit going on with fucking Frank 451. I got some shit going on with fucking Ray 451. And I wouldn't say it's hardcore per se. Hardcore-esque. You know what I mean? There's very heavy instruments in it. But there's also a lot of melodic parts that's going on. And I'm always into my personal band, which is NCE. You know, that's my personal shit. I play whatever the fuck I want to play with that fucking band, yo. I don't care what fucking genre that shit is. I'll play you a fucking bachata song. I'll fucking play you. I don't give a fuck. That band is no genre. You know what I mean? I'll play whatever the fuck I want to play. There was also a band that me and Lenny was into, which a lot of people, my wife included, say that's one of my best bands is the Wolf and Waters. That band specifically was playing to a genre of music that our parents listened to, which still incorporates into that hardcore realm. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Blues music, at that point in time when blues was first invented, you could consider that hardcore.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's some shit where the regular people in the world was like, nah, I can't listen to that. That's devil music. I can't. What the fuck is that? You know what I mean? But that's something that we ventured in, and off tunings where regular guitar players probably wouldn't be able to go into. You know what I mean? Where niggas will be like, what tuning are you in? What? Well, I don't understand the tuning. Nigga, listen to it. Listen to it, bitch. You'll hear it. You know, that's basically where that shit went. But musically, I'm all over the place. I play fucking hip hop. I'll play hardcore. I'll play metal. I'll fucking play blues. You know what I mean? There's no boundaries where I'm concerned with guitar music. Like right now, you know, I'm listening to Joe Bonamassa. I'm listening to fucking Derek Trucks. I'm listening to fucking Jeff Beck, nigga.
Yeah, Jeff Beck is very underrated.
Extremely
really underrated.
Underrated. And honestly, if you want to get technical, he's better than Hendrix on the fucking Stratocaster. Who the fuck makes a Stratocaster sound the way Jeff Beck could make a fucking Stratocaster sound?
He's actually, I think he's better than fucking Clapton.
Oh, hells yeah. Hells yeah.
He makes that thing talk. And where you go, oh my god, how is he doing it?
Who does that?
And no pick. All fingers.
Finger picking, and he's on the fucking vibrato as if he invented that shit. As if he was Leo Fender himself.
Yeah.
Fucking...
Yeah.
There's nobody that could play the way Jeff Beck does.
No, absolutely.
But at the same time, there's nobody right now, for me, that could play the way Bonamassa plays on a standard tuning. And then you have fucking Derek Trucks on the slide. There's nobody in alternate tuning that could play the... You know what I mean? People like Dwayne Allman or those guys initiated it, but these dudes took it way further. You know what I mean? And I still consider all of that hardcore music because it's something that comes from the soul. You don't necessarily need to know A flat, F sharp, Z major. Fuck you, nigga. It's like I'm playing music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's a lot of cats that we know that if we go in the studio, it's like, what are you playing? Are you playing to the F minor sharp or to the Z scale?
I can't read fucking music.
Nigga, listen to what I'm playing. Like, listen to what I'm fucking playing. You'll get it, yo. And that's where that goes musically.
You got any words for bands coming up?
Be original. Be original. Don't be a carbon copy of your influences. Take your influences and become yourself. That's what I feel like the hardcore generation that I grew up in did. There was nobody else sounding like District 9 or 451 or VOD, Six and Violence, No Redeeming Social Violence, Roguish Armament. Nobody was sounding like those individual fucking bands because we had our own voice. If you want to do something, become your own voice. Don't be the next Leeway. Don't be the next Madball, Scarhead. Become greater. And if you can't do that, don't play.
Caesar, pleasure, mama.
Fams, always much love, much respect, man. Always, as one of my major influences, fucking Without a Cause. I know he hates hearing this fucking shit, but one of my major influences growing up, 94, 93, 95, Without a Cause, fucking Close Call, all that shit. One of my major influences. My man right here, man. Thank you.
Thank you. Peace.
Easy, nigga.